rich soil, which has a fair amount of clay. There's rocks, underneath there's sometimes boulders. Anytime you prepare a vineyard, you have to remove the bigger ones, which would interfere too much. A lot of preparation. Then you leave the smaller rocks will keep coming up as you till the soil, and it's part of the structure, gives good drainage. But we have clay that helps to hold moisture. So, and clay that's managed with organic techniques, you know, incorporates organic substance, and it will hold well. But that's why it's important to have grass, to have stuff growing on it.
No,
which mostly we do seed cover crop occasionally when necessary, but we tend to prefer to manage the local species. So for example, there you'll see where it's not tilled, you'll have a lot of native clovers, native alfalfas, wild type of legumes, and then grains like oats and barley, wild types of wheats and other grains.
That helps a lot with the nitrogen introduction back to the
Yeah,
soil.
the legumes of course fix nitrogen, so they'll incorporate some nitrogen in the soil. The grains will help with the structure, and then as the plants dry, gets mowed, you know, all this stuff will the residues of the weeds will then become organic substance in the soil over time. Then you have all these native species, these are very tap roots that will help to loosen, you know, because they're working with machinery, so you compact the soil, so you're always like, the soil will tend to heal itself. This is something I've learned from biodynamic growers way back when I studied it, and it's like, if you can learn from the weeds, so you observe what grows, and you know, a plant like this will tend to spread a lot where the soil is more compact. It has really deep tap roots, and it will help to, you know, crack the clay and make it well drained. So, so weeds, rather than a problem, they can be an ally. They have to be managed, and they can tell you a lot about problems in the soil. So sometimes, if a weed take over, it's usually because of soil condition that's either too compacted or too acidic. So, and it can tell you how to maybe to work more lightly. We're not tilling deeply. What you want is just to break the surface of the soil. You go on about this deep, and this will be like the soil itself becomes a mulch, so that you break the capillarity. Otherwise, all the moisture will just, like a chain, will come to the surface and evaporate. Once you have in this part where it's not tilled, where it's tilled, you'll have the soil itself, which will prevent the loss of moisture, and so there's more underneath for the vines, which will go and find it deeply.
Are you doing anything on the bio side or no? Are you going that way or no? Biodynamic or no?
Not really biodynamic, but I've studied it, and so I've used some concepts from biodynamic. We're not
like
using... well, this concept of weeds, how you look at the diversity in a vineyard, it's very much, I've learned it from biodynamic growers originally, and from other organic farmers. I always went to learn from vegetable farmers, fruit farmers, which I think have been in the past more advanced, more on the cutting edge in terms of organic techniques. A lot of growers in California, when I go there, I always go to visit some. I studied at Davis, so I have connections over there, and it's always interesting to see what other farmers do. Then we have this cycle where we use, this is chestnut from our own forest up at Badia, so selective cutting. All the forests that you see and everywhere around the Badia and everywhere around Tuscany, and in fact in Italy, have been managed forests for centuries. So it's selective cuttings. There's now rules about how much, how often, and how much you can cut. And so chestnut, typically you cut it at about this size, and it's used for poles, posts. Then the ones that will grow bigger you'll use for beams, for houses. Very resistant to rot, so, and you don't have to use chemically treated poles or other things, which of course in organic would be a problem. So you know, this is a type of vineyard is always vertically managed, positioned, you know. You want the full exposure on both sides. You don't want with Sangiovese